Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport on YouTube, and today we are looking at the Champions League overall. Who will win the UEFA Champions League for this season? Well, let's start off with the one of the big teams who won it last year and won it for the third year in a row, but they'll be doing it without their man Zinedine Zidane. Conor, 3 years on the trot, which is some achievement in Champions League football, but Real Madrid, they're not looking the same this time, especially when their identity is half gone because of Cristiano Ronaldo moving to Italy.
Yeah, and the fact that Zidane's gone as well, it can be detrimental to a football club when you have such a big change in the summer in terms of your manager and your top player both leaving the club. So the expectation on Real Madrid is to still go far in the Champions League, but whether or not they'll be able to make it 4 times in a row is a big ask for them.
Jack, obviously the likes of Barcelona, Juventus could possibly stop Real Madrid this time round. Do you feel as though with Real Madrid they look a bit lost without Ronaldo?
Well, they've got Courtois in goal, which doesn't help.
Yeah, look, this is the Courtois hate fan page, I promise you.
No, I mean, I think they obviously have still got the quality to do it. I mean, they've been showing it now. I think Bale's gone up another level since Ronaldo's left. You know, he's got the free roam now up front, him and Benzema. So I think they've still got the quality to push for that for Champions League winners medal. But like you said, there's a lot more teams trying to compete for that and take that sort of accolade off them.
As Joe knows, Liverpool lost to Real Madrid at the end of last season, so for Liverpool they'll want to get some revenge at some point and to do one better.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we've got a difficult group to start with PSG, Napoli, and obviously Red Star. Doesn't sound as hard when you say Red Star, but no disrespect. But yeah, obviously Liverpool, they went as far as they did last year with it. Arguably difficult run towards the latter stages. Obviously, people say Porto and then the group we had was easy, but you look at the likes of City and Roma, they're not easy games. Obviously, you've got to beat what's in front of you, and Liverpool did that.
Not in the final, though.
Apart from the second leg and the final, but we'll see what we can do. See if we can do one better this year. Stronger squad. Who knows?
I mean, I think some reckon that Barcelona could be the favourites, Conor. But yet again, Barcelona seem to be favourites every year, and then they don't actually get near enough to the final. Did you think Barca could do it this year? Because Luis Suarez has been astonishing since the season started again in La Liga.
They'll definitely be up there as they were last season, making the quarterfinals before getting knocked out by Roma, and they certainly were able to do enough at home against Roma in that two-legged tie before going to Turin and just falling apart completely. But that's what a lot of teams did in Europe last season when they went to visit Roma, because they're quite a strong and powerful team. But I think this Barcelona team has got enough to at least go far in the competition once more. Already mentioned about Suarez, the magnificent player that he is, and Messi as well. We all know what he can do on the world stage, and especially for him to being left out of the whole FIFA best player situation and things like that. You know, he'll have a point to prove to the world, and I think the Champions League has always been his occasion where he's gone on and has shown what you can do, and chasing down Ronaldo's records as well will be something else to keep him motivated. So I think Barcelona will definitely be in the mix for certain, but whether or not they'll go all the way, it just comes down to game by game situations really, because if you asked anyone last season before a ball was kicked in the Roma tie whether or not the Barcelona would go through in that situation, you would probably get a lot of people, maybe 95%, saying Barcelona, and the other 5% being Roma fans saying, yeah, our team could go through. It turns out, Roma were able to get the job done, and all it takes is just the one game for them to fall apart or to come together. So it really matters really how Barcelona play on the day. But if you're going to go from form and what they've shown, you would think that Barcelona should go far.
Jack, PSG, they've got Liverpool in their group, but PSG, we can look at them and think, yeah, they're a big club, and they are because of their status of money, give it to me. They've got their players in of Neymar and Mbappe, and straight away those are two players there that know what it takes to win the Champions League, and one of them knows how to win the World Cup since the summer's commenced. But do you feel as though PSG are still a team that we look at and think, you're there, but you're not there, if you know what I mean? You're getting there, but it's just not happening. The money helps them, but nothing more.
Well, this is PSG's most important competition of the year because that's the one the owners want to win. French league is meh. They can probably win that easy and comfortably. So I think every time the Champions League comes around, I think the manager's expectation is obviously from the owners is to win it, because you look at Unai Emery, he didn't win that, and straight away they're already looking at somebody else on who's going to take his place. I mean, obviously they brought in Buffon as well, who hasn't won the Champions League, and he wants to obviously win it and will be desperate to win it. So I think PSG I think they are obviously contenders, and I think they've improved their team from last season. But again, whether they can take that next step is sort of vital. I mean, I would like to see him in the final. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think that they might have what it takes. I think, obviously, like Conor said, I think there's always this game where you never know what's going to happen. Barcelona could slip up. Real Madrid, we're not sure of how good they're going to be this year. I think the owners really want PSG to push on this year, and I think that they might have a chance to get closer than they have before.
For PSG, it was only that long ago that they were in a comfortable position against Barcelona, where they were 4 goals to 0 up, and then they ended up going to the new camp and completely getting annihilated, and then knocked out the competition completely. So I think for PSG, it just comes down to how they perform away from home. I think they'll be able to get the job done in Paris, but it's just a case of making sure they get the results away from home in order to succeed and go far in the competition.
Okay, so Juventus, we mentioned Buffon. Now, what story would it be if Buffon realises that his beloved Italian team went on to win the Champions League a season after he leaves? And with Ronaldo there, what story that would be, Joe, if Ronaldo can somehow do it with a third different team where he has won the Champions League with a third different club?
Well, he's the record breaker, isn't he? History man, he's won the Champions League.
Sit in, come on.
Sit in.
You're off the camera there. It's like Jamie speaking to Invisible Man.
I was going to pull it in like that.
How many times has he won it, did you say? 4 times?
5 times, I think.
Times,
Now. Well, he's won it 3 times, yeah.
He's won it 3 times from Madrid.
4 times.
4 times,
yeah. 5 times. We don't promote Ribena.
It'd be a big thing. It'd be a big crawl on Buffon, wouldn't it, if Juventus won it? But it's just one of those things that happens in football all the time. Player moves away and his team wins it next year because he goes on to try and win it elsewhere. It's luck of the draw, I suppose. It's one of those. It's Ronaldo. Do I want to see him win it again? No. From a personal perspective, I think I've had enough of seeing Ronaldo with that big shiny trophy. But from the Juventus point of view, they were close a couple of years ago, got outplayed by Madrid in the final after a fantastic second half performance by that man Ronaldo. So it'd be nice to see the old lady actually get the hands on the big European prize once again.
It's alright, we all know you want Henderson to lift it.
I know, but big Verge.
Well, big Verge instead. But actually, let's talk about the English clubs now. I mean, who's got a good chance? Because I'm straight away thinking Manchester City and Liverpool, Conor. Liverpool got to the final. Man City. Well, I mean, they're shown in the Premier League again where, well, surprisingly, they're not top of it at the moment because of what happened with them against Wolves a few weeks ago. But Man City, they've got a manager like Pep Guardiola who knows what it takes to win it. But it's been 7 years now since Guardiola won the Champions League with Barcelona. So for him, he needs to prove a point, surely.
Yeah, certainly that's the reason why he was brought into City, in order to win the Champions League. So you would expect them to go further than what they did last season and, repeat to what he did in this first season where he got into, the semi-finals of the competition.
Yeah.
Get to at least that stage, and hopefully the luck of the draw comes into play then and they go on from there. For Liverpool, as I mentioned quite a lot now, I think either Liverpool, PSG or Napoli could easily come out of that group with 12 points in the bag. It just comes to a case of how Liverpool perform away from home in Europe. That's always been a little bit of a struggle for them, as we saw against Roma in the semi-finals last season. But at Anfield, they can make it a fortress and do well there. So as long as they're able to get the points at Anfield, the rest of it should play out quite nicely for them in the group stages, and then they make sure they kick themselves into gear once the knockout stages arrive. For United, I'm not really too confident about them because I just don't think they'll be able to go far in the competition with the players.
Just because you don't want to see Fellaini win it.
More because I don't want to see Mourinho be like 3 times. I haven't won the Champions League 3 times. Oh yeah, he would have to won the Champions League 3 times.
He would have, yeah.
If he won it, so that would have been quite significant for him. But and then Tottenham, I can't see it either. Just sheerly because the sheer fact that they haven't got the depth in their squad. You think
group makes me laugh as well.
Yeah, if Harry Kane gets injured, God forbid, touch wood, for England's cases. I think
he's Welsh, by the way.
I think it could be really dire for Tottenham if they were to lose a key player. if they were to lose Kane or anything like that. So, it's good. I think for Liverpool and City, they would be expected to go to at least the quarterfinals and beyond. For United and Tottenham, I think round of 16 would be a much more achievable aim for them. And then whatever they're able to get from that is a bonus.
Well, as you can hear, I'm getting it all in from every angle, aren't I? Europa League. All I can say is that at least United win in a cup final compared to Liverpool. But as you mentioned Spurs, you mentioned United not getting really much of a chance. I think I'm going to have to agree with you, especially as a United fan. It's probably a big ask.
I can't wait for United to get spanked by young boys. Just can't wait.
That's on this week. It's not a porn movie. I promise you that now. But overall, let's look at who are the real contenders. So, I want to get off everyone. A real reason now, Joe. Be honest. Who's going to win the Champions League in your eyes?
Too early to call, but I'd say
pick one.
Barcelona look like favourites with the quality in their squad.
Barcelona, okay. Jack Price. Chelsea can't win it, Jack. You know that.
Oh, they've only done it once anyway.
2020, maybe.
Won it before it. After it. I don't know. I'd like to see PSG, I think.
I think you're the only one who wants PSG to win.
I just think it would be something different. I can't be asked if Real Madrid win it again. I don't really want United to. Ronaldo to win it again. Can't be bothered with that. Too much. Oh, he's won it again. Who gives a shit? I think so. I don't really want Juventus to win it. Barcelona, I can't be bothered. So I would like somebody fresh. So PSG, you got this.
You got this, the capital of France. Here we go, Mr. Connor.
I'm going to agree with Jack on his point that I want someone fresh, but I'm actually going to go with Manchester City because I think they've nailed down their rotation in terms of players. We've seen how strong Aguero's been in the Premier League this season. Just imagine if they keep on playing him in the Premier League and then switch to Gabriel Jesus in the Champions League. You've got Mahrez and Sané and Sterling as well in terms of rotation. And let's wait until Kevin De Bruyne comes back in the second half of next year, how fresh he's going to be for them and how much of a threat he'll be able to be for them in the Champions League progressing on from then. So I think, for me, City could definitely go all the way this year, but it's going to be a tough ask for them and Guardiola.
I know I'm a Chelsea fan, but can you imagine that final of PSG and City?
Yeah.
Money final.
I'd love to see the combination. It'll be a billion-dollar match.
You'll see oil tycoons everywhere. Yeah. You'll be like, there's one over there, there's one over there, there's one over there.
Can I just jump in on this Man City thing?
You have to spec Where's Wally for a fan.
As I pointed out on the City preview that I did with Andrew, sadly not with us in this video.
Sadly not with us.
Don't worry.
He hasn't passed away. He hasn't passed away. He's just not here.
Well, I pointed out that it was 9 years into the Abramovich reign when Chelsea won the Champions League. We're into the 10th year of the Mansour reign at Manchester City. Could we see the European Cup in their 10th year?
Hopefully not. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.
You haven't said who you're going to do.
Well, obviously Man United.
We'll see you all next time.
You see,
can't do better than that.
I was unbiased and I didn't pick my club. He's biased and he picks his club.
I was unbiased as well and I didn't pick my club.
What, Nottingham Forest?
I didn't pick my club.
You wished you could. That's why. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember, 3 times.
One's enough.
And on this bombshell, it's time to wrap up. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe and all that. Enjoy.
Tottenham won it.